All right. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sons of Liberty. I know we here have been fucking lacking, all right? But we're here again to
Finals.
give
We're at the
another
finals.
podcast. I'm Sonny, and I'm here with my two co-hosts, sons of bitches. Your Clue, your Q, your Q, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm Kaike, just cow.
Wow, you're not gonna let him introduce himself?
Damn.
No.
Yeah, it's King Bow Wow and Kaika back at it again.
This is shit house. All right, let's All right, Kaiku, would you like to introduce us to our first topic?
Yes, this first topic or this first story is
Big
absolutely
news.
huge. Just insert the Donald Trump thing where he says huge. Okay, because this basically proves that COVID originated from a lab and
Well, it doesn't
not from the
prove, but it
wilderness.
definitely suggests.
It's
I don't know. It's kind of sus.
almost positive, alright? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know.
okay, so let's get into it. So, this is from the Wall Street Journal. And
Very,
two
very
scientists
reputable source.
Very
right, but they actually have some good sources, right? Sometimes, and the Wall Street Journal is a very left-leaning art or news article, right? So whatever they say, and if it's remotely onto the right, you know that they probably are putting aside their differences for the truth. So let's get right into this. This comes from Quay and Muller. I don't know their first names. I'm sorry, I didn't do that much research, but they basically say that from the coronavirus, of the 36 possible genome pairings that can produce two amino acids in a row, which results in a virus's lethality, the most commonly used in gain of function research, which is basically like experimenting viruses in a lab, is the sequence CGG, or double CGG. Now, this is very interesting because it's readily available and convenient to scientists in a lab environment. The possible advantages of using double CGG compared to all the other ones, so there are 35 other possible pairings, is that it creates a beacon that permits the scientist to track the insertion in the laboratory. Basically, this sequence is so rare in the wilderness that it's used by scientists just to make sure that they develop this virus. Furthermore, Quay and Muller, the scientists who broke the story, right, noted that the double CGG sequence has never been found naturally among entire coronavirus groups,
Yikes.
and that includes. Sorry, Joe. What did you say?
I said yikes, keep going.
Yeah. This includes CoV2, which basically is COVID-19. And the most compelling thing about all of this, if that wasn't even compelling enough, is that there's dramatic differences between the genetic diversity of COVID-19 compared to other coronaviruses responsible for like SARS and MERS. Now, why this is important is because SARS and MERS, which were confirmed to be of natural origin, evolved rapidly as they spread through the human population until the most contagious forms dominated, right? That's just sort of Darwinism right there. By contrast, COVID 19 proved to be highly contagious from the point it was first detected, which basically means if this thing originated naturally, it was a pretty good virus from the get go, right? Because it killed so many people.
There was no outward examples of natural selection over time. It was basically released and then immediately incredibly infectious.
And some proponents might say, oh, it's a virus that evolves rapidly. Well, but literally by the first case, that's, whoever got it, the first case that was reported, it was proved to be a deadly infection. Now, Quay and Muller continue. This is basically just repeating them. Such early optimization is unprecedented, and it suggests a long period of adaptation that predated its public spread. Okay, basically, it can't fucking happen in the wild. Like, if it's that dangerous, it can't happen naturally. If it happens first off. And they basically just repeat Darwinism type, slang. So if this doesn't prove that the coronavirus probably originated in a lab, I don't know what will prove that. It's quite obvious at this point that if this doesn't prove it, at the very least, it should raise an eyebrow. And I like that a lot of scientists are now backtracking what they said just a couple months ago because Trump repeated this, and Trump's big orange man and big orange man bad. What do you guys think about this?
Okay.
I'll let Chow go.
Okay, so I was actually I've already got this sort of result from my own research previously, especially from the great holy scripture of Ben Shapiro show, of the Ben Shapiro show, and the other articles and sources. But what I found is, right, why is this coming from the Wall Street Journal? We've already established that they're a definitely left-leaning publication, and especially nowadays, the leftist news organizations cooperating with Republicans or even just people who are center-right or, hell, even just pure centrists doesn't really happen anymore. I mean, maybe sometimes, but it's very difficult to work together towards a common concept of the truth when most people on the left don't really believe that a concept of objective truth even exists. And if they say it out loud, they're just saying that for their own personal gain. It's a power play. Because most leftists, or not most leftists, but the leftist doctrine is essentially that everything is just power politics. But going back to the Wall Street Journal, with all of this information, it's interesting because it would seem to put the blame squarely on China. I mean, there was already plenty of blame on China to begin with, but more now than ever, because this was a virus that, if not developed, was definitely at least somewhat tested and engineered in a laboratory in Wuhan. And the fact that it escaped was purely the fault of China. Now, obviously, it was an accident. I mean, hopefully it was an accident. And I don't even want to entertain the idea that it was some type of bioweapon, which is what a lot of people in more fringe conspiracy theory groups believe, which, while not impossible, is definitely unlikely. It doesn't seem like this was intentional because it killed plenty of people in China as well, and that doesn't seem very likely. But what's important to note is that mainstream news sources like CNN, like the Wall Street Journal, like the New York Times, like all of these different mainstream media publications, they did not touch a word on this quote-unquote conspiracy theory that the coronavirus was developed in the lab until well after Trump said it. That's the thing. Because Trump was the first person to introduce the idea, well, not the first person, but the person with the biggest platform, because he was the president, to introduce the idea of a Wuhan lab leak theory, CNN especially, actually, publicly denied it. They said that it was fake news. They said it was misinformation and that it was, it was basically a smear campaign against China to give Republicans and to give right-wingers a reason to be, well, xenophobic and racist, because that's usually what all of their arguments boil down to be.
But do you know why they said that?
What?
Do you know why they said that? They said that because of Dr. Fauci. Fauci basically downplayed the virus. That it came from. He didn't downplay the virus, excuse me. He downplayed the possibility that the virus came from a lab.
Right. And of course they only downplayed it because Orange Man Bad said it was possible. But now that has passed, and now that more evidence is coming to light, the mainstream media are taking credit for the discovery, even though they were the ones who originally dismissed it. But, of course, while Republicans look at this information and squarely put the blame at China, the mainstream media is looking at this information and just, well, not really making any conclusion about it because, of course, China is very much an ally of the left.
Yes, and I just want to add, this like information that was from the Wall Street Journal wasn't only public information per se, like not all this detailed information, but it was very readily available from Dr. Fauci and Fauci's inner scientists, and we know this because of Fauci's emails. Now, I think a week ago,
Flawless.
yeah, I think a week ago, 1,000 or so of Fauci's emails were released, and it basically had him, contradict himself. One of the more funny fields is masking. He basically said once you get the vaccine or you are infected with the virus, you don't need to wear a mask. Which he basically said in front of the Senate under testimony that yeah, him wearing a mask after he's been vaccinated twice is not theater. It's to protect himself and others around him. Which we know that's not true because of his emails. And something that we found out is that Fauci was very much aware of the possibility that the virus came from a lab. In fact, he actually believed that it's the most prominent theory, just that he wanted to save the institution that he held over releasing the actual facts. And the reason why I think the media has been accepting the idea of the lab leak a little bit more easily now is because of Fauci's emails, right? For me at least, it looks like because this whole lab leak theory only caught steam for like 2 weeks right now, right? 3 weeks, however long it's been, and it seems to me that because Fauci's emails got leaked a week ago, it seems that the media sort of been acting in coordination together. They had this information that his emails would be leaked, and they were like, okay, well, if the public's going to know that the lab leak theory is actually credible, we might as well do some research. That's what it looks like from an outside perspective. I know it probably didn't happen, maybe just coincidental timing, but that's what it looks like to me. I don't know. What do you guys think? Why do you think the media actually started talking about this? I know, Chow, you already explained this, but what do you think, Sonny?
So honestly, I think that this actually gives the media something to talk about and to actually cause some controversy and stir in the public's eye, in my opinion.
Right. At the very least, the media seems self-serving their interests, right? At the very most, they look like they've been doing some coordination because they have some damning evidence of Fauci regarding his emails. So, it's not a good look for the media either way. But man, is it really bad for Fauci right now? This guy should be fired, and I don't know why he's still in office. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ciao.
And this whole this thing with the Wuhan lab leak theory finally being given sub amount of consideration by mainstream media, with the Fauci emails. I totally butchered that. I'm sorry, but what I've noticed is a similar pattern that happened literally just like a month ago. I don't know if we covered it on an episode. It might have been during our dark period, but recently, what's happened was it's been declared by the CDC that if you've been vaccinated, and it's been like fully vaccinated, so it's been 2 weeks after your second shot or your whatever is your final shot, and it's been 2 weeks after that, then you are done and you don't have to wear a mask anymore because you're vaccinated and you're good. But the thing is, we've already kind of known this. Right. There's no logistical reason for someone to wear a mask if, when they're vaccinated, they logistically no longer are a threat to themselves or others. I mean, 95% effectiveness rate is not 100, and that's something that people should remember, but realistically, wearing a mask from that point should be a choice. I mean, it should have been a choice from the very beginning, but especially if you're vaccinated. But this is something that we've always known. This is something that was very apparent once the vaccine became readily available, and yet it lagged behind by a margin of 2 months, maybe more. And the reason why I think that is I believe that the mainstream media, through a mixture of incompetence and an inability to accept when people who they disagree with are right, is actually now less up to date with the facts than alternative conservative and libertarian media sources. And it's not even like it's political bias exclusively, because we've known that for years. It's been obvious. Mainstream media is just recycling and regurgitating old ideas from, leftist theory and academia. I mean, it's pretty apparent. But it's not even about that anymore. Even for the facts that everyone can agree on, the leftists are taking their time because, to put it simply, it doesn't fit their narrative. They're still going to say it, but only when it becomes convenient. And so, the mainstream media, even for apoliticals, becomes completely irrelevant and redundant. It's just more convenient, but it's slower by a significant margin. And, at that point, if you didn't want to watch the media because you didn't trust them, you shouldn't watch the media because they won't even tell you the facts at a good enough speed for it to be relevant. And yet, they're always trying to find something to fill the hour with and to get people watching. The idea is, why don't they just stay up to date with the facts? And the truth is, they don't want to be. So,
It's almost tribalistic in nature, right?
Almost.
It pretty much is. So the media individually can't think for themselves, so they group up with the crowd. And I just want to add on, Fauci's response to all this is like, to the Wuhan lab leak, to his emails, has been like, man, we can't be blamatory towards China. We can't start putting the blame on people. And the reason why he says that is because if we start blaming people, we actually might blame him, because he directed over $600,000 worth of funding to the Wuhan lab, to the Wuhan Virology Lab Institute.
Wait, is that real?
Yeah, that's legit.
Oh
He
my
directed
God.
$600K.
Wow.
So if we start blaming someone, we might as well start blaming him, right? Because he put a lot of money to it. And there are some leaked documents that suggest that he might have, actually put in over $800K through a third party. So it's more like, imagine money laundering, but he directs the $800K to a company, and that company directs it to the Wuhan lab.
Damn.
So he's pretty in there deep, which is why I understand he says, let's not start being accusatory.
So he's kind of funded the pandemic in a way.
Yeah, and like, I know he didn't want this whole thing to originate,
so
but it's
fucked.
like, it's kind of funny at this point. Not for all the people that died, of course, but just because it seems like if we actually do some non-biased research, we actually might find a lot of horrible things about Fauci.
God, welcome to Clown World. Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of Clown World, this topic, I know I've ranted a lot, but I really, really have to take the lead on this one, because this shit, ooh. Okay, I have made it painfully obvious on this show, I am a libertarian, sometimes more. There is nothing about me that isn't for the individual freedoms and liberties of the citizen and the individual. Okay. This shit. I don't know if all of you've heard of it yet. It was kind of a big deal on Twitter, and then it somehow, weirdly, everyone stopped talking about it. I wonder why. So, Biden, oh Lord, President Biden, said that, oh my God, and he said this multiple times, your AK-47 won't save you from the government's Hellfire missiles.
The fact is, if you're going to take on the government, you need an F-15 with Hellfire missiles. There's no way an AK-47 is going to take care of you if you're going to take on. You're worried about the government coming down, knocking down your door.
Oh, that's a bad take, Biden. That's a really bad take. All of the leftists were saying that gun control was just common sense, so that people weren't constantly getting killed, and that if you didn't support gun control, you supported the people dying. You supported people innocently dying, or innocent people dying. But like, it doesn't get more blatant than this. Every totalitarian, and hell, even just blankly authoritarian government in history has, as one of its first actions, banned the citizens' right to own guns. When citizens can revolt against a tyrannical government, they lose their power. It's a basic power play. it's no surprise that all of these crypto socialists and communists, and hell, in some cases, even crypto Nazis, because, I mean, National Socialists, right? And fucking Antifa people, which is just pure irony, right? When you have all of these people together, what do they represent? They represent the most totalitarian, human rights violating type of civilization to our entire history. And guess what they're saying? They're saying what they've always said. Give us your guns. And, you know, some people are like, well, it's just common sense gun restrictions. No citizen needs to own an AR-15. It's just, what are you going to use it for? Second Amendment isn't for that. No. Because this is what it is. Biden has just said that for all of the people who aren't going to listen to the government's restrictions, fine. You can have your AK-47. But it won't matter when we start bombing our own populations. You know who else bombed their own populations? Fucking Pan Am from the Hunger Games series.
Bruh.
I swear to God, every day, in this fucking shit show of 2020 and 2021, some stupid shit happens that makes just me completely lose faith in humanity. And this was it. This was my week/month's doomer black pill dose. I cannot even that Biden has just deadass said at one of his speeches, one of his rallies, that he's completely okay with bombing citizens if they want to protect their own Second Amendment rights. I mean, I get that that's kind of a stretch from what he actually said, but editor, just play the clip.
Yeah, speaking of weekdays, let's talk about someone who has a weekday every day, Hunter Biden. So,
my favorite topic. My favorite topic is
yeah, I mean, this guy's like, I don't even know. He might as well just be in a clown suit and just be at Chuck E. Cheese and entertain the kids, because this guy never has a good day.
This man's the downgrade of fucking Trump's son.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. So basically, you got exposed for saying the N-word via text. Obviously, we don't have an audio clip, and if we did, we couldn't play it. But still, I assume he said it before, just because just how he uses it.
Hunter Biden said a gamer word. Let's go.
He said a gamer word, and let's read out the text. Of course, we won't say the actual word, but this is to his lawyer that he pays almost $900 per hour to work for. His name is George Maciras. I don't know if I'm butchering that or not, but regardless, George says there is zero coverage or pickup of the story. Zip, they sent a shit ton of resources on it for a year. I don't know what he's referring to. And then Hunter Biden says, "Wow, thank you, Michael Cohen." And then his lawyer just sends him a middle finger emoji, which is always nice when you send that to your client. Anyways, this is funny. Hunter Biden proceeds to say, "Oh, and thank you," or "Oh, and you too," which is response to the middle finger. "How much money do I owe you? Because N-word, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates." And then the lawyer responds that maybe snarf my coffee. Hunter Biden responds with, "I just made that phrase up, by the way," which obviously, no, he did not. "I should have nad your lineage." Don't know what that means. The lawyer says, "Clever son of a gun. It's wasted on you." Hunter Biden responds, "Apparently you do," which the lawyer responds, "That's what I'm saying." And then it says, "N-I," and then ... which Hunter Biden said. And then he said
this is gold.
this is actually really good.
Oh my gosh.
And then Hunter Biden sends a picture of himself naked. That's what we're supposing, because the lawyer responds with, "Why are you so tan?" And I don't have the text with me right now, but Hunter Biden says, "Oh, that's not for you," which obviously is meant for probably a hooker, which he's had a history with. So it's just amazing how Hunter Biden is so stupid, right? Not in just one sense, but in two senses. Number one, he says the N-word openly in DMs, which, by the way, whatever you write on like messages or DMs, that's gonna stay there forever. And number two, the second way he's dumb, is he sends him a naked picture of himself, which is just great. So yeah, that's the first part. There's also a second part, which this is a little bit more disturbing, but you know what? Why not? By the way, let me prefix this with George, the lawyer. He's actually a white person, so let's just make that clear. Hunter Biden says, "Where do you find unconditional love, then, George?" And then he corrects himself, "Where do you?" Because I actually don't know why he corrected himself.
Because he's slow.
He used the correct where, but all right. Anyway,
He texted the N-word to his own lawyer like twice.
yeah, and
No.
he actually I think he wanted to uncapitalize it because you know what? It doesn't matter. Anyways, the lawyer responds with, "God loves unconditionally. Bo loves you unconditionally. Children are too young to understand what it means, but you will show them," which just sounds really ominous and really creepy.
That sounds really pedophilia type.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting those vibes from this.
Yikes.
And then the lawyer he responds to
Jeffrey
himself.
Epstein, no. Not again.
Bill Clinton moment. Anyways,
Biden was on the island. Anyways, go on.
the lawyer responds to that with, "There are ideals of unconditional love that serve as proxies. I don't have many. You, period, God, period." Which, I don't know what that means.
Very edgy.
Yeah. Hunter Biden responds to all of that with, "OMG, N-word. Did you just what does that even mean? Okay, OMG, N-word. Did you just a fictional character from the imagination of the collective frightened, and my dead brother's unconditional love is what I should rely on, and my kids aren't children, George." And then he responds with the lawyer, "My parents' love was conditioned." And then for whatever reason, I don't know why, Hunter Biden responds with, "My penis," and then apostrophe on the S of penis, "as of late has been conditional." And then the lawyer responds with, "That's why we were searching." And Hunter Biden responds with, "For my penis?" No question mark, which seems weird. And the lawyer responds with,
Does Hunter Biden deadass have as much dementia as his dad? Oh my god.
it's not even dementia, it's just fucking stupidity at this point.
Oh,
The lawyer responds with, "And we will always be searching." Hunter responds with, "It's a big penis, George. They will always find it. And I only love you because you're black," which we established that he's a white lawyer. The lawyer responds with, "It's so annoying when you interject with frivolity." And Hunter Biden responds with, "True that, N-word, but I'm done my rant." He responds with, the lawyer, "We will always be searching." Hunter responds with, "To be serious for one more minute, my true and beautiful friend, the search is over when you finally realize the unconditional love you give is the end of the search. The love we give without condition is the reward in and itself. When you can say without exception that your love is given unconditionally to all, even those hurt you, and especially to those that seem incapable of returning, it is then your search is over.
What is
grammar
going
issues.
on?
no.
Anyways, this is pretty obvious that the lawyer's just trying to, charge Biden just another $900 an hour, because if anytime Hunter Biden interacts with him, that's just another paycheck. So good on the lawyer, man.
Exactly. You gotta get some money somehow during this pandemic.
I mean, can you imagine if that was just Don Jr. who said that? Like, this would be horrible.
Canceled.
He would be canceled. He would be ridiculed.
Out of here.
And Armstrong and Getty made a good point of this, and they said that if Don Jr. said this, right, the media would proclaim that, where did he get this from? He must have got it from his father because his father was orange and racist. So I like that the media has not been, saying that at all. So that's great.
Yes, of course.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, that was a complete train wreck. Oh, speaking of train wrecks, Pride Month!
Oh no.
Pride
We're
Month.
opening like that? Okay.
Yeah.
Not
Let me-
how I would open it, but alright. Let's
Let-
go straight
let-
into it.
Let me make this very clear. I'm speaking for myself. I don't know how they feel about this, but I'm not opposed to giving, groups their own months to celebrate, accomplishments. But, yeah, with that just preface, Chow, you could do your whole shtick.
Okay, first of all, what fucking accomplishments, but whatever. Okay.
Oh, okay, I can name one.
Go ahead.
veterans?
Okay, so in 2000, whenever Obama basically said gay marriage is legit, right? It basically suggested that the government cannot dictate how your life or how your marital status is performed.
Right, which is
So I think that's good, right? We can agree on that.
Okay. How many days do our veterans get?
Couple days, so that's I understand that.
So they don't get a month, right? They get a couple days.
They get a couple
They
days.
get a couple days.
Oh,
And-
so why not a month?
Yeah. Like,
What about
I get
presidents?
that.
Wait. How about presidents? Well,
To be fair, the president
how
gets
many-
like 3
one
days.
day.
one day.
Well, I think George Washington. Oh wait, is that 1 day or 3 days? I'm mixing up shit. Okay,
No, but
the point
President's Day
stands,
is
yeah.
1 day.
right. You're right. Okay.
You have all of these like.
Just give them 1 day. Just give them 1 day.
all of
Pride
these
Day.
groups. Yeah. Okay. Pride Day, June 1st. Easy.
Boom.
Easy.
Boom.
It would be so easy.
Or June 9th.
Bro, but why did
Oh
it
my goodness.
Bro.
You're so-
Which coincidentally is where the day we're recording this on.
Oh my gosh. It's not even. You should have said the day when this releases.
Oh,
It'd make it so much better.
that's funny. Okay.
Anyways.
Okay, but okay, I actually want to be like kind of serious on this because this is a topic that I mean sort of kind of matters, sort of kind of to me.
Just go.
Okay, so for anyone who is watching this, I'm gonna say this, right? I am bisexual. It's true. It's true. You know, plenty of my friends make memes on me. Buy with mail
Wait,
memes.
he
75%
puts the wow
ass.
meme like wow when he says that.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I do that, like we'll get canceled legitimately.
Yeah,
so, no.
do it. It'd be really funny. Okay. Okay. So the thing is, right? I want everything that I say for this entire segment and for the rest of my life to be treated as if I was a straight guy, because I don't think that it fucking matters. Honestly, it should not. My words should not have any more or less weight based on my fucking identity. Because that's fucking id-pull bullshit. I'm just gonna say this right here, right now, okay?
Overall, like, we
No.
shouldn't even see people as like straight people or gay people or bi people. We should just see people as people.
Exactly. We
That's
all
what I get against identity politics.
Based!
Exactly.
Bro, fuck id-pull. All my homies fucking ate id-pull.
Say homies. All my homies, you know.
All my homies hate id-pull, man. Bro, id-pull fucking, nah, I'm good. I'm good. Okay. So, for anyone who doesn't know, id-pull stands for identity politics, and it's the worst shit. It's the worst. Okay, it's the second worst. The first worst is fucking class politics and socialism and shit. That's first worst. That's nah. But second worst and close to it is fucking identity politics. Okay. Here's the thing, right? Race used to be an issue. Okay? It is not anymore for institutions in the Western world. Individuals, sure, but you're not going to change everyone's mind by fucking screaming on them and making them lose their jobs. You're only going to make them believe what they believe harder. The only way to convince people of their bigotry is wrong is to actually debate them and be right. Which, you know, for a lot of these fucking leftists and progressives is kind of hard because they don't know how to make arguments. But here's the thing. That's with race. Race actually has a history of, you know, kind of mattering at all. But when it comes to the gendered issues, especially when it comes to shit like the wage gap, the pink tax with the male versus female divide, and then the sort of the gay marriage thing from the late 2000s with Obama, and with now the issue of transgenderism and non-binary and genderqueer and the fucking 10 million gender list on the Gender Wiki, which is a real thing. Don't look it up.
It's actually 7 billion.
No, it's actually infinite. Some fucking Tumblrite said that apparently there are infinite genders because it's as many as people want to be and everyone is valid. Can we just talk about that for a second? This fucking everyone is valid bullshit. Okay. No, I don't think that everyone is valid. I think that everyone should be allowed to live whatever life they want to live, because any other way would be infringing on their natural human rights. But fundamentally, I think that I am allowed, as part of my freedom of speech and my freedom of self-expression and belief, that I should be allowed to say, hey, I don't think that's a really great take. I think I'm looking at, whatever fucking gender you are, and I'm saying, hey, I don't think that matches up with reality. I think that's just a construction. And, they're totally allowed to be, offended or pissed at me for that. But that offendedness has been used to justify some of the greatest bouts of censorship this entire internet has ever seen. It's absolutely insane, and it all bunches up at Pride Month. It is suffocating.
To be fair, there's only two, maybe three real genders that actually count. So
3.
Yeah. Well,
Three.
there is
One?
there is intersex, right? So some people were born XYX, which is a thing.
Right. But
it's
an
very
abnormality.
rare. Right, it's super rare. Like,
You could realistically get away with saying male, female, and then other.
yeah.
And the other only being selected by either fucking Tumblrites or the people who are actually intersex or have some genetic abnormality. The reason why it's called an abnormality is because there is a normality to base it off of. There's two groups. You're a man or you're a woman. Now, some people, right, have gender dysphoria and they want to go from one to the other. Fine. I don't care. Now, here's the thing, right? If someone doesn't want to date you for that, that person has the right to. The fucking super straight thing that's like
Yeah.
it's dead. I'm sorry, dude. The meme is dead. No one cares anymore. But the fucking super straight thing, super straight is valid. Saying that you don't want to date a trans person because you're straight and you don't really, while you validate themselves as whatever they identify as, you don't see them in that same way, that's completely valid. That makes sense. But saying that you're fucking weird, sort of 39% male and then the rest female and then a little bit other, sort of mixed up Build-A-Bear create your own gender shit is fucking, it doesn't make sense. It's not valid. If you want to believe it, sure, but I don't agree with you. I think that you are self-identifying as something that doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense on reality. It doesn't make sense on biology. It doesn't even make sense on self-expression. At some point, the limits become so granular that you're just making up a label to make yourself sound special. And I'm not saying that self-expression isn't worth it. I'm not saying that if you want to be this, you're not allowed to because I disagree with you. By all means, go ahead. By all means, block me on Twitter because you're crying because I'm disagreeing with you. But I will never stop disagreeing with you unless you argue with me and give me a reason to agree with you. That's how this works. And if you censor me off a platform, I'm just going to find another one. And if you use the state to infringe on my rights and commit violence against me, other people will take my place. That's how the game is played.
Right.
All those fucking leftists are talking about fucking everything is power politics, but that's because they made it that way. Going back to what I was saying at the beginning, this idea that there is no such thing as objective truth, the only reason why there's no such thing as objective truth is because they've said there is. They've said that there is no such thing as objective truth, and everyone else is just along for the ride because they're not politically influential enough to do anything about it. Need I remind everyone in this call and everyone who's watching that the Democrats kind of have America by the balls right now. I mean, that might change in 2022. It probably will. But they have a lot of control over this country, especially with the executive branch. And right now, a lot of the policies that they're enacting are dividing us more than uniting us. And they're working to sort of exaggerate differences rather than try to mend the sort of the wounds of our past. You know, race issues could have easily died off in the early 2010s. We could have realistically stopped making race a big issue. But of course it was the Democrats. They're the ones that founded the fucking KKK. And all these people say that there was a split. Sorry, that's cap. There was never a split. There was never a switch. Democratic Party today is just the same Democratic Party as before, only with a new makeover. And that makeover is the benign bigotry of entitlement. And going back to Pride Month, the idea that you deserve an entire month where everyone reassures you for being whatever sexuality or gender or whatever that you are, you know what? Fine. Have it. Everyone, I think, deserves a time like that. But when you are the same kind of person to attack a straight pride parade for infringing on your sensibilities and making you upset, kind of cringe, bro, in it. Thank you.
I think like the whole LGBTQ movement was kind of cool in the beginning because it basically said like we don't want governmental overreach on how they believe we should live our lives, and that's a good message. But once it began to sort of take hold of modern politics, it became more of you must respect me or else I want the government to cudgel you into silence, which is not cool. So yeah.
Yeah, with this whole movement, it's just like cool, man. Do you live your all right? Just don't let it interfere with mine. All right. It's just like it's in movies. It's in everyday life. It's always in our faces. Yeah, it's just I don't know.
Speaking of something that's always in our face,
Oh no.
AOC.
Pain, nightmare, pain.
Anyways,
Among Us.
so I need to give context to this. All right.
As always.
Basically, she leased a Tesla, and her monthly bill is about $500 a month. And she currently leases 2 luxury apartments, one in DC, and one in the Bronx, I believe. So that's just a little bit of context. She makes about $174,000 a year from being a congressperson, not including donations from just regular people, and not including her like merch, because she has a merch shop where
wait, she has merch?
Yeah, she has merch where it literally says "Tax the Rich," even though it's a $60 T-shirt,
Bro,
which is just amazing. It's rich.
Irony.
Anyways, not too long ago,
didn't AOC become like a gamer for like 5 seconds?
Yeah, she
played Among Us
with very famous streamers such as Pokimane and Valkyrie.
Very sussy indeed.
Yeah, very, very sus.
Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez vented in
Oh my
Oval Office.
My goodness.
Guys, she's sabotaging the financial system.
Oh my goodness.
No,
Alright.
AOC sussy. Okay, continue.
Sussy imposter baka. Anyways,
Shut up. Oh my god.
Anyways, so AOC said in a tweet, like on a thread, I'm quoting her, "Just over a week ago, my abuela fell ill." Now, for all of those people that don't understand Spanish, abuela means grandma.
They say it right.
Yeah. Anyways, continuing
White
on.
people moment.
I know. I should. I know. I'll read this. I got this guy.
This is the only, except Maria. That's the only thing that's not technically English.
All right. We continue reading.
Okay. I went to Puerto Rico to see her. She didn't hyphenate it correctly, but we're not going to complain. My first time in a year, plus because of COVID. This is her home. Hurricane Maria relief has not arrived. Trump blocked money or relief money for Puerto Rico, PR. People are forced to flee ancestral homes and developers are taking them.
Wait.
Now,
didn't the Puerto Rican government was the one who blocked Trump's aid, if I remember correctly?
I'm not sure, but maybe?
I'm gonna fact check that. All right, you continue.
Okay. Now, Matt Walsh He's basically like a podcast host for the Daily Wire, which is the network that Ben Shapiro runs. Um, he said to AOC in response to her tweet, "Shameful that you live in luxury while allowing your own grandmother to suffer in these squalid conditions." Which, of course, he's mentioning that she should take personal responsibility, and instead of paying for her luxury apartments and for her luxury Tesla, she should set aside some money for her grandma. AOC responds with, "You don't even have a concept for the role that first gen firstborn daughters play in their families. My abuela is okay, but instead of only caring for mine and letting others suffer, I'm calling attention to the systematic injustices you seem totally fine with in having in a US colony." She completely ignores the point that he makes, but fine. Matt Walsh, being just himself, he says this in response to AOC's tweet. Excuse me. "Hey, at AOC, we are raising money to help your Ebola. It's been inspiring to see the responses so far. Can you send me a DM that I can get the necessary information to ensure you that this money makes it to your grandmother? Thank you." Now, in the GoFundMe, like the description talked about AOC, but most importantly, it said, "Please consider donating $499, which is the typical payment on a Tesla that the AOC bought."
Oh my god, that's great.
And they got over $100,000.
Nice.
100K. That's a lot of fucking. That's enough
What?
to probably rebuild the whole home in Puerto Rico because supplies are cheap there, right?
Yeah.
I kid you not.
Damn.
AOC takes down the GoFundMe because it was given to Matt Walsh, or it was made by Matt Walsh,
Wait,
which is
what?
conservative.
Wait,
Yeah, she didn't accept the money.
she didn't accept the money,
Yeah,
and the GoFundMe
Because
got
she doesn't
taken down.
like helping people.
right. And she later said she was attacked by Matt Walsh.
Oh my
Attacked
god.
with money.
Attack with money. Ooh. Oh. These $100 bills are hurting, man.
Oh god.
There's too much.
Yeah,
Ooh.
no sympathy for Ak. Alright, what's next?
Bro, oh, I swear. She really
Oh.
killed her grandmother with that one, I swear. Look at all the damages in the house. And shoot, you know how much she could buy a whole new house there, like a mansion with that money.
In Puerto
Puerto
Rico,
Rico.
yeah, houses are cheap, so
They're very cheap there.
that would have
Like,
probably replaced 2 homes.
oh my.
So,
Two homes, one big mansion over there.
Nah,
Anyways,
nah,
for
dude.
viewers,
She disagreed with the person giving the money, therefore bad money.
by the way, the
Yeah.
viewers earlier, I was wrong. It was not Puerto Rico blocked it. All right, let's go.
Alright.
Next
all right.
topic.
Okay.
Ben Shapiro is now officially based. What does that mean?
Okay.
Oh, fuck,
I this is supposed to be for the end, but fine. Okay,
Nah,
so
my shit's the end. My shit's the end.
So here's the thing, right? I gotta say, I originally thought, and I said this on one of our first episodes of the podcast. I thought Ben Shapiro was a fake libertarian. I thought that he was just some fucking Trumpite conservative who was pretending to be a libertarian for clout. And I'm not gonna lie, plenty of them are. But recently,
Cap.
shut up! Oh my god.
Cap.
Motherfucking pun you.
Cap.
Shut the fuck up.
Punt? You don't even know what that means.
Fucking
Anyways,
curb stop
continue.
you. Alright, okay, yeah, so Ben Shapiro based now. You know, he's taken the yellow pill and he now understands the truth that government bad.
To be fair, Ben Shapiro's always made that clear. So,
I mean, well, not. I mean, you liked him, and you were a fake libertarian. So I mean, you know,
Dang.
I kind of made some assumptions.
Dang.
it's like all Dream fans, you know?
Oh,
All of them are-
great segue.
I'm joking.
Are we actually
Joking.
gonna talk about it?
I mean,
No, no,
actually,
no,
we
we're
have
not,
we
we're
have it
not.
on the list. Why not?
We do? Oh yeah, I just
Not
put
everything we
screenshots.
have to talk about is political.
You know what? If you want to talk,
Although
I
in its
retract my
own
statement
way-
that I made.
Although it's
I
own way, it
don't
actually
know
kind of
much about
is.
the information. I doubt you do. So
I know
Um,
very limited aside from the fact that he admitted he's cheating. Chow,
yeah,
what
that's
do you-
it.
What do you know, Chow? How's Dogecoin? I haven't been looking
It made
at
a
it
dip.
recently.
Okay, it made a pretty big dip as normal
Yeah.
crypto right now, but it's making a rise a bit right today. I'm
Yeah.
reading.
It's getting
So,
better.
It's getting a little better. It took a huge dip.
Dude, to the moon. Shut the fuck up. Sit down.
It's,
to the
yeah,
moon.
more like to hell. It's going
To the moon. To the moon.
to hell.
To the moon.
To hell, I guess. But yeah, it's going. It's recovering. It's making a nice recovery today. But it's still going down like Bitcoin and the rest of them right now.
Okay.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
wow.
I,
That's been a major
yeah,
thing.
it wasn't a big update, but can I just say, you know, the
No.
one thing that I like about Dogecoin is
Feels
that
like
I can't really, I can't hold it, I can't feel it. You know what else I can't hold and feel? NFTs. Let's talk about NFTs.
I thought you were gonna say something else that would have been a bit more
Shut
inappropriate.
the fuck up. Okay, NFTs. Okay, I actually know a lot about this.
know nothing.
This is
Non-fungible.
non-fungible tokens. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say two things. One, if you actually like and invested in NFTs, you're a fucking idiot. And two, if you're
Dumb.
complaining about NFTs and you think that they're slowly destroying the environment, you are also an idiot. Let's get down to it. Okay, so what are non-fungible tokens? Essentially, they're
Oh no.
they're internet souvenirs. Essentially,
Can I just
What?
put a link in the description to a good video?
Go for it. I want to see the link.
This is gonna be. I get it, Chad, but this is gonna be a really long explanation.
okay, it's pretty simple. Okay, so
Okay.
All right, you have like 1 minute. Go.
okay.
It's not gonna
Okay,
take one.
so
minute. Go for it.
NFTs, non-fungible tokens, are basically internet souvenirs. They're minted, okay, at a specific startup company, usually Ponzi schemes. When they're not, they're okay. And essentially, right, the idea is that there's some level of permanence, and that any copies that are made won't have the same authentication services, and so when you buy it, and usually it is buyed for hundreds, thousands, or sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. Like, if you even have that money, you know, is the token. You have it, and you can brag about it to your friends, and then you can sell it to someone else who might want it more than you, and then boom, boom, now you're making a profit. That's the idea. In reality, NFTs, are kind of pointless, because if the company for which you bought it from goes out of business, and considering they're all startups, it kind of makes sense, right? If they go out of business, your NFT is pointless. It doesn't have any authentication. It just dies. And you still paid all the money and you don't get a refund. Because guess what? They're going into bankruptcy, or they're closing down and pocketing the money. So you just got scammed. That's why I would never invest in an NFT unless it was somewhere where I actually trusted and they weren't charging a ton of money for it. Because it essentially does nothing. Now, let's talk about the other group of fucking idiots. The people who are like, NFTs are killing the environment. It's like... Okay, here's what happened. Elon Musk made a fucking power play, right? Saying that he just figured out, essentially, that Bitcoin and NFTs are non-eco-friendly because they use a lot of power to be minted. And it's like, I think you should kind of expect that a currency that is made online is probably going to have some environmental problems because it's sucking energy from a wall. It's just kind of how it is. And, you know, the problem is, a lot of people are saying that if you support NFTs or if you support cryptocurrency, then you're a bad person because you want the earth to die. But the truth is, a lot of that electricity was going to be used up in one way or another. The fact that it was going to mining bitcoins or minting NFTs in your whatever startup you have is irrelevant, because if it wasn't being used there, it'd probably be used by whatever fucking stupid service that your computer was using all that energy for. Because guess what? NFTs and bitcoins and cryptocurrencies in general are minted, collected, harvested, and traded through computers exclusively. Because that's the point of a cryptocurrency. it's encrypted through computers. So it's all using energy. Every time that you mine a cryptocurrency, or hell, even that you just look at your wallet and see how many you have, you are in an incredibly small way using power, and by these fucking idiots' idea.
You just say small. You know how much energy that shit takes?
Well, I mean, small from a sort of a global standpoint, because that's what they're talking about.
Everything globally is small.
Yeah, exactly.
Just saying, like, have you gone to a place where they mine crypto? Like, that shit uses so much energy, and I've talked to a crypto miner before, and they say they haven't made much profit. It takes about like 2 to 3 months for them to actually make profit out of it because they have to pay all the electricity bills.
The thing, they're paying the electricity bills for all that electricity that they're using. So it's not like they're just sucking up all of the electricity like a fucking leech. The power companies get paid. They're actually giving back for all of that electricity that they're taking to mine Bitcoin. It's not just a take. It's not just parasitism. It's an actual functional way to store and maintain currency, especially when the dollar is losing value by the day.
To be fair, Bitcoin mining right now, it's not worth it. So if you're Bitcoin mining, you should reconsider it.
It's not worth it from like a profit margin standard, but in terms of like morally, I don't see any problem with it.
You guys should mine Litecoin.
Nah, dude, I'll just mine 4 Navy bucks.
It's like, look, just saying this right now. Reconsider yourself if you're mining Ethereum or Bitcoin, because it's not profitable.
Which is why you should mine Dogecoin. That's not even
like Litecoin.
Honestly, mine other coins, dude, and
dog
if
money.
they become valuable.
Litecoin takes the least amount of energy to make.
Dog money. Shut up. I'm right.
You're right. I should go punt that money.
Bro.
Anyways, sorry.
Okay, and
anything
else?
Speaking of people who punt.
Oh, okay. Yes, my favorite topic.
Your only
topic. Speaking of punting.
Punt.
No, they don't punt. Shut up. Football. A bit of football / political news. Tim Tebow, old Broncos / Jets / Patriots quarterback, has transitioned himself to be a tight end, and he has signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, why is this in a political podcast, you say? Well, y'all remember Colin Kaepernick and his kneeling on the flag for racial equality? And you know how he's been trying to get signed to an NFL team? Well, guess what? He hasn't been signed yet. But you know who has? An old quarterback turned into a tight end. So that sparked a lot of controversy in social media in the past couple weeks. So yeah, what's your guys' takes on that, non-football fans?
Is Colin Kaepernick even a good quarterback?
His stats, no. In my opinion, he was not that very productive.
If he's horrible, then I mean, he
wasn't horrible. He went to a Super Bowl, lost. He went to the NFC Championship, lost against my favorite team, Seattle Seahawks. For those of you, football fans and the sadly not in the audience, nerds. Anyways, what's your take on this, Chow?
Oof.
And he's leaving.
He was in 2016, 2017. He was ranked 29th in the league. Yikes.
Yeah, I think that was his last year.
Oof. I mean, I don't want to say it, but it's like Darwinism.
Huh? Did someone say Darwinism?
Yeah.
What? What did you say?
Darwinism, political idea, funny. What?
Yeah.
Anyways,
if you're gonna be good, they're gonna choose you. If you're gonna be bad, I mean, what do you expect?
Exactly. I mean,
it's
you
very
just gotta be
fierce,
good.
right? From what I understand.
Yeah. What do you mean?
The competition for
it's
getting on a team.
so hard. Like, if you were going to college, it doesn't mean that will translate into the professionals. Like, legit, for example, off my top of my head, Jared Goff, drafted in first round 2016 draft, has not had the amount of success he had in college. So same with Tim Tebow, who was also drafted in the first round to the Broncos. Now he's a tight end, so obviously he didn't do good as a quarterback. So he's transitioning. See if he does good there. Anyways, I think that's it for that topic, as it is a snore to chow because it doesn't go outside
hold
or
on.
touch some
One last
grass.
thing. Touch grass. Lol.
You don't touch grass, so you know.
One last thing. This is very very quick. I'm gonna post it in the doc. So.
Fuck the state.
I mean that's I usually say that, but no, I'm actually gonna give some context this time. Okay, so I found this on fucking Reddit, because I always have Reddit. Okay, so this
dear
person
men,
said,
sunglasses are a tool of patriarchy. They're used to hide ogling eyes and sinister looks. They make women feel uncomfortable, and they are not a necessity. Please stop wearing sunglasses as a sign of respect and support for women. Thank you, allies.
Poggers.
Shut up.
69 shares. Let's go.
This is stupid. This is so stupid. Why? I love sunglasses, even though I rarely wear them out.
You know what?
What?
I'm gonna wear them even harder. I'm gonna wear 3 sunglasses on at once.
You know what? When this video comes out, I'm gonna wear sunglasses.
Base.
Not because something happened that day, but I'm just gonna wear them. Who deleted?
Wear sunglasses if you hate women. Anyways, so that was the episode.
Wait a minute. Wait, I don't hate women.
I love
women.
Alright?
I do not hate women. I am not.
Come on! I thought you were based.
Alright, I love women.
I just like sunglasses, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Women is the better gender compared to males.
I don't think so.
That
I
is
think
major
they're equal, but we are stronger physically, and we can do more tasks.
What the fuck? Why?
Wait, hold on. Wait, men can do more tasks because women are imposters.
Oh my god. You're right.
You're so right. Anyways, this will close out the podcast. Thank you for watching. Come back next time. Hopefully,
or don't. Goodbye.
We won't screw up our
Stop recording.
Did he actually?
Stop looking.
Yup.
Oh my god! I swear. You can.
All right,
actually, I didn't. I just trolled you. Come on, do the.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, hopefully our fucking upload schedule is not fucked, and we can upload, every so often. See you guys next episode. Peace out.
Oh yeah. Also, one last thing.
I swear, if you didn't record that, I'm gonna be mad.
Okay. Yeah. One last little thing for the update for the podcast going forward. We all just exited out of finals pain, so we got the summer ahead for us. We're all graduating, so more episodes coming soon.
Why you gotta dox this?
Dude, it's not doxing. It's like the general form of the year.
You're telling them that we're not graduating.
If it's really doxing, the editor will just cut it out.
I mean, it's not really doxing, right? A lot of people are graduating, so.
Yeah.
No.
Anyways, the sun to get cucked. I'll see you next time. Peace out.
Worry about leaving a better planet for our kids. How about leaving better kids for our planet? Entire generation offended at everything, getting mad that a human thinks all lives matter. We don't need black or white or left or right. What we need is common sense. We need balance. We're all in the same boat. Why you trying to make holes? If they sink, we sink. This is madness.